All right, y'all. Today we're gonna get right into it with these are gonna be yes, I made an entire presentation. These are gonna be conspiracy theories that I low-key believe in. Okay. I titled the presentation, I'm not saying they're true, but I'm not saying they're not. Alright. First up. Our phones are always listening. I feel like, well, I'm gonna preface this with the fact that these are gonna go in order from like not unhinged to more unhinged. Yeah, I feel like this one's pretty like almost everyone agrees with, because like this happens too much to the point to where it's like confirmed. It has to be. How many times I've been talking about something and then I get an ad for it on Instagram? Like literally last week I was talking to my roommate about getting protein powder, and I did not look up protein powder, and I got an ad for some protein powder on my phone. Yeah, it has to be true. We give apps like TikTok and Instagram mic access, so I feel like it has to be, yeah. And there's no way algorithms are that good at predicting, so you can't just be like, oh, they know you from all your... No, there's just no way. Like, there's no way they knew I needed protein powder. I had not looked up anything that had to do with the gym at all. 100%, yes, thank you. So I wouldn't even say this one's a conspiracy. It just has to be true. Okay, number 2. New World Order, a little bit of a jump. This one's basically where you think like the elites are trying to create one world government. I think this one's also pretty kind of like obvious, because we already have globalism where it's like basically like free trade between different countries, and we're all mixing our cultures and whatnot. So that has to be next, right? Why does BlackRock own everything? They literally own everything, dude. The last couple weeks of school, I had this project for my investments class, and we had to look up like certain companies and find different. You've never heard of BlackRock? I had to look up different companies and figure out like what other people or companies had large stakes in their company. Basically, like what other companies had a lot of stock in that company. And for everybody's company that they chose, BlackRock owned majority of the shares. Like everyone's presentation. So I think that's pretty sus. Why do they buy everybody's company? I don't know. I'm gonna name drop here. The main culprits are the Rockefellers. John Rockefeller was the first billionaire in America. House of Saud, I believe they're like the richest family in the world. They're the Saudi Arabia. Yeah, they're like the royal family of Saudi Arabia. And then Putin, who many argue is the richest man in the world. And then I want you guys to watch this video that I found on YouTube. It's an ex-CIA like head guy, whatever, like director.
I want to go back to that clip we played earlier of former CIA Director James Woolsey speaking just a few weeks ago with Laura Ingraham on Fox News.
Have we ever tried to meddle in other countries' elections?
Oh, probably.
No, there's more. Sorry, there's more to the video. I had to pause there because what do you mean? Probably.
But it was for the good of the system in order to avoid the communists from taking over. For example, in Europe, in 47, 48, 49, the Greeks and the Italians, we
don't do that now, though. We don't mess around other people's elections,
Jim. What do you mean? Yeah, but for more clarification on BlackRock, they're literally just like a company that owns everything, including not just like shares of other companies. They own a lot of the United States real estate too. So like they're buying a bunch of the houses, and they're not even putting them up for sale. They're renting them out, which is like causing like a big housing crisis in the US. Anyway, yeah, I feel like this one's pretty like confirmed. I feel like too. I don't know. You got a sneak peek of this one. Cat mind control. This is BMO, who is also my profile picture. Look at him. I feel like this one doesn't need much explanation. Literally 2 years ago, I didn't like cats. And then so the pathway went like this. I didn't like cats, and then my sister got cats, and they kind of started to grow on me, you know, little fluffy little things, fur balls. And like they started to grow on me more and more each time I went back home. And then I decided I wanted to get a cat, and yeah. So when I went to go get BMO, it was like he had a litter with siblings, right? And I just picked him out, and I picked him up, and I looked him in the eyes, and I was like, this is the one. And that's why I think the power lies in their eyes. Like, look at him. I can't even zoom in, dude. Just look at him. He's so cute. He looks so dumb. I know, but it's so cute. I heard something about them having like parasites or something. That like, I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, I'm pretty sure cats have mind control powers. Next. There's weird stuff we don't know about in the ocean. Yeah. Hold on, sorry. I need to fix this. So this is a picture that shows exactly how deep the Mariana Trench is. And this is like the deepest part of the ocean. It's deeper than how tall Mount Everest is. And, you know, we haven't explored all of it. So, yes, I have theories. Okay. Some examples might be like Leviathan or giant serpents. There has to be, we already know there's going to be like animals, fish down there that we've never seen. So why can't it be something outlandish, like, you know, one of these two. Atlantis, it could be a whole civilization. I think that could be real because Earth began as mostly water. I mean, it's still mostly water. I don't know why I put that, but like Earth was like almost all water, right? So why would we think that like humans are the first intelligent species to form? And we only formed once land, you know, came to be. Why didn't something smart, you know, evolve while there was all water, you know? And NASA, at first, they created NASA for the ocean, to explore the ocean. And then they turned to space travel. Very sus, very interesting. I think something scared them. They turned to space travel so they could get away, or so that we could all get away from Earth and whatever's hiding in the ocean. That's my theory. But yeah, so there's some weird stuff we don't know about in the ocean. 100%. The pyramids, I feel like this is also this is a classic. They align with the stars. I think it was like Orion's belt or something like that. And I don't know if the ones like in Mexico, it's like Central America. I don't think it's exactly Mexico. Yeah, I think the ones in Mexico or Central America also align with, I don't know if it's exactly Orion's belt, but something to do with the stars. The pyramids of Giza, they took decades to build. Why was it that serious? I really want to know. Like, why spend decades building something? I don't really want to buy into the whole like aliens built something, because like, yeah, no, I don't want to say aliens built the pyramids, because it is like possible for humans to have done this, but it was very difficult and it took them a long time. So I don't understand why it was so serious. They had to have an ulterior motive, you know? And using them as tombs is pretty creepy, and it has to do with something with the underworld, or I don't know. Like, have you guys seen As Above, So Below? That horror movie? I mean, yes, it that takes place in like the catacombs under, I think it's like Paris, but like I think that's the same stuff that's going on down in these pyramids for sure. Like, you gonna find the same stuff that's in the movie in these pyramids. Anyway, number 6, also a classic. The moon landing was fake. It's been 53 years since we've been to the moon. Why haven't we been back? I feel like that speaks for itself. Why haven't we been back? It's probably going to be so much easier for us to go now than it was back in like 1972. Why haven't we been back? Question mark. We were in the middle of the Cold War, so I feel like of course we'd fake it for clout. Like, duh. We wanted the clout to say that we made it to the moon first before Russia. And if they're in space, where are the stars? This is an actual image from the moon landing. Where are the stars? Where are the stars? There's more people say like, oh, the flag was waving, but like there's no like there should have been no reason the flag was waving. But I do believe the whole idea that like, oh, the astronaut was moving it, so that's why it waved. But Other than that, where are the stars? Why haven't we been back? And of course, we'd fake it for clout. That's my reasoning. Area 51. Now, I don't really have much to back this one up other than I have an uncle that used to work there, and my mom would always tell me like what he would say to her. I'll just call her in. She could tell us the story.
Hello, daughter.
Hello, hey, you're on speaker. Could you tell them about what Uncle Herbert would say to you about like his time at Area 51?
Yes, he would always say that if he told us what went on down there, we would all be afraid to step outside.
And he never like elaborated at all. That's all he would say.
That's all he would say because it was top secret. And if he told, something could happen to him and his family.
Yeah.
So it was always this big, big secret.
Sheesh. Yeah. He do you guys ever know like what he did there, or like was he like what was his role?
It was a secret.
Yeah. All right. Well.
It was a big secret to this day, and he's retired. But he's been retired for about 20 years, and he still will not tell.
That's sus.
Yeah, I agree.
But all right. All right, yeah, that was all. You were just sharing it with my stream and to my future YouTube video. So say hi.
Oh, hi. Hi.
All right, thank you, Mother. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, love you. Bye. So there you have it, guys. That's my reasoning. That is my reasoning for having Area 51 on this list. Yeah, that's really all I needed for this one. Next. This one I feel like is obvious. This man did not I'm sorry. In GTA. I don't know what Twitch's policy is on this. This man did not end himself. But if he did, then the guards let him do it. Like whoever was in charge of watching him, yeah, they didn't stop him whatsoever. Or they like convinced him. Yeah, something else was at play with this man dying. Unalive, yeah, he did not unalive himself. And yeah, that is all I had for today's conspiracy presentation. I hope you enjoyed. You don't have to agree, but I'm right. So, thank you for watching.